Ask Flipman Flippinar, hard to say. And we have Renikia here, and Adria should be coming up the elevator. How's it going, baby girl?
Everything's going good. How about yourself?
Oh, super tight, super tight, super tight.
Super.
Before we get started, make sure you follow me at Ask Flipman on all handles here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So no further ado, while I do a little house cleaning here in the background, I'll let Renikia introduce herself.
Absolutely. So as always, I am so thankful to be a part of the Flippinar.
House cleaning here in the background, I'll let Renikia introduce herself. That's me?
Okay. So sorry about that. I am Renikia Williams with Fortune Key Financials. I'm always thankful to be a part of the Flippinar and be able to bring you all my experience in education and resources to the platform so we can all grow and begin to build generational wealth. And as you all know, I am the queen of financing and creative financing and help you all be able to leverage your credit to be able to take your real estate ventures to the next level. If you ever want to begin to leverage your credit, one of our flagship services, we help leverage your credit to receive up to $150,000 unsecured credit so you can really jumpstart that real estate business. If you want to get started with that, you can go to findmynextdeal.com, or you can find me on any of Facebook or Instagram, or you can email me at funding@fkfinancials.com.
Okay. All right. Can't find the show. So let me get over here to the questions. There we go. Okay, there we go. All right. So who we got in here? Kev Lewis says, good evening, everyone.
Yeah. Sounds like the superstar coming through the door.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And so we got Adrian here. Who else we got? We got Bill May in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And I'll go ahead and ask a question or two while Adrian getting set up on her device over there. So who we got? So we got Nathaniel Stowe. He says, how should a whole EMD to a seller? That's question number one. Does the wholesaler send it directly to the seller or to the title company and or attorney? Piece from Atlanta.
Okay. Nathaniel from ATL. What was the first question? You kind of blanked out.
How should a wholesaler send a EMD, earnest money deposit, to the seller? Does the wholesaler send it directly to the seller or to the title company or closing attorney?
Okay. I think those are really great questions. It's really negotiable, to be honest. I mean, you can give it to the seller. They can hold on to it. You can give it to the title company or the attorney. Some of the best practices that I have came across is that I would rather give it to the attorney because, you know, when you're looking to get your money back and having to, you know, try to track someone down for your earnest money, it's just a lot versus just going to the attorney and allowing the attorney to sort that out. So to me, that's one of the best practices. However, it's negotiable. You know, the seller can hold it, the title company, the attorney, if they negotiate that you hold your own earnest money, which no one have ever done, but it's all negotiable according to the contract.
Okay. All right. Let me see here. Let me snatch that question that was just asked. Make sure I copy it. All right. Let's copy.
You want me to take over?
Yeah, if you on, yeah.
I'm on.
Yeah, can you hear her?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good.
They hear me. Let's see here. The very next question. First of all, hello, everyone. How are you? Okay. Next question is going to be from Coach STEM 601. What's your experience with the memorandum of contract and dealing with shady investors?
That's a good question. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And if you need to record that contract and put that on file so you can cloud the title, if you feel, any, shadiness, I mean, those are options. But I feel good about it if that's what I need to do in order to make sure my contract is sustained.
Okay. Just going straight down the line, Brandon Moraine wants to know, do I need a title company to finish my deal if I have a home already under contract? Yeah. But okay.
Absolutely. However, someone can quit claim your deed, go through a title company or attorney or things of that nature. However, if someone do that, you really want to go through a title company or a real estate attorney, because they do a practice called clear the title, and they give you title insurance, and they make sure your title is not clouded. So say, for instance, you don't go through a title company or attorney and you're looking to sell it on the back end, and there's a whole lien on the title that you must take care of, because once you purchase that property without title insurance, you are not insured if there's any liens on that property that was not cleared. So once again, I would say best practice would be to always go through a title company or a real estate attorney.
All right. Paulina, and this is from Facebook. The Facebook group has a question. It is, can you get a mortgage with unemployment? She's recently become unemployed. So I guess my question is, having a job a huge factor in getting a mortgage, or would you possibly have to have maybe save income? Is there a way around it?
I'm sorry, what was the question again?
She it should be good. You can't, you can hear?
No, I could hear her. I just didn't hear her.
Yeah. Go ahead, repeat. Basically, she asking, can you get a loan with no job, a mortgage?
That's a really good question. And no one ever asked that. When it comes to private lending, absolutely yes. There's no income verification. There's no tax returns, no bank statements. Most private lenders like myself, we are asset-based lenders. So we fund based on the asset and the equity in the home. As long as you have the lump sum of cash to close the property, you can close the property with absolutely no job.
All right, so there you have it. Job is not required.
Now, if you go to the bank, traditional banking, it is.
Correct. Okay, so
was she asking that question to live in the house, or she's asking about an investment?
It actually didn't specify. It just says, can you get a mortgage with unemployment?
Oh, well, yeah, traditional bank, you cannot. You cannot go to Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and get a mortgage without income, without them verifying your income. However, with private lending, absolutely yes.
Okay. Hello, Charles. I see you said good evening, team. How's everyone doing? And just me giving my round the way shout out. Big D, Shay, MH, Ashley, Offroader. Hey, haven't seen you in a minute. Brenda, Sherelle, Rhonda, Natalie, Kev, Brenda, Coach STEM, who just asked the question, D1914, Riley and Ray, Gregory Lewis, Dirt Bike, and the list goes on. Thank you all for joining. The next question is from D1914. If it's your first time on a seller appointment, how would you know how to estimate repairs right if you've never done it before?
That's a really good question. I would say this: don't give them, if you mean a seller, don't give them a final answer until you know your numbers. So worst case scenario, you want to walk in, you want to take good pictures. If you cannot assess your own rehab budget, you want to walk in, take a lot of pictures, even take a video maybe, and send it to someone who can give you a quick rehab budget based on the pictures and the video that you sent over. Or you can always, maybe have a contractor or someone who could accompany you to the meeting. And after you look through 2 or 3 or 10 properties, you eventually begin to understand how to kind of budget your own rehab.
Okay. Rose Gold Jones, and this is from
I think Todd, to answer your question, go back to one question. Todd have a good little formula. Do you have a little formula?
Well, yeah, one of the, and I have to always give reference to this guy that I saw it with. It made sense, and I've actually been using it myself, even when I have a question about something. You can take the square footage, and then some of it's going to vary with the type of house you're evaluating too, because a countertop that'll go into one neighborhood may not go into another. So just keep that in mind. But with that being said, just take this, if the property is livable, just take the square footage and do it times 25. $25 per square foot.
Before we get started, please review these.
And if it's not livable, $40 a square foot. Now, if it's in a rental area, just strictly a rental area, really no fix and flip area, then you may want to do $15 a square foot. And those are just ballpark numbers or whatever. You just need something to go by or whatever. So, and you can use that $15 a square foot if it's just a very light rehab, no roof is needed. Central heating air is good, bathrooms and everything is bathrooms. The kitchen doesn't need updating, maybe just paint, carpet, things like that. You can go to that. So I know that's vague, but it's a vague number. You know what I'm saying? So you just need something to go by where you can plug it in and say, hey, I got the 70%. I need to come up with an idea of repairs, even if you're off. If you've overestimated $5,000, $10,000 or under $5,000 or $10,000, it's normally not going to kill you in the deal or whatever, because at the end of the day, the formula is more, for me, it is more to prevent me from wasting time, which I don't really have to use. I just can look at stuff and just know. I just automatically just take half in my mind and then, then I do the square footage or whatever. So, but so hopefully that made sense.
Okay, Rose Gold has a scenario, and this is on YouTube. Seller wanted to sell his house and had a price. He said no repairs were needed, but once he was asked to set up a day to come look at his house, he changed his mind and said he has somebody staying there and doesn't want to bother them. Not particularly sure. I guess as you put, this is a scenario. Well, then it sounds like you don't have a motivated seller or a deal. So when you run into situations like those, I guess maybe the best suggestion is just to move on. I mean, don't harp on it. It's done. You can possibly circle back later. What do you suggest, Renikia?
I mean, honestly, it happens all the time sometimes, especially when a property has a tenant in there. As a homeowner, as the owner of a property with a tenant, you still got to ask permission to enter the home. So it could be a possibility where he just didn't let you know that there was a tenant in the property. And now do you want to go out and see it? That information became relevant. But it happens all the time. It doesn't mean, I wouldn't say it doesn't mean that they're really serious. Sometimes it's just a tenant in there. You want to ask, is there a tenant in there? Is it owner occupied? In cases like that. So if you're looking to close this property with a whole tenant in there, because that's a situation you'll have to deal with if you're looking to do a fix and flip. That's something of that nature. But it could just mean that there's a tenant and they're just giving the landlord a hard time to enter the property, which happens.
Okay. The next question is going to be from YouTube. One of the first questions listed here. Ryan the Ripper wants to know, is it a good idea to target abandoned houses when first starting out?
Absolutely.
Well, those are basically vacants.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, those are your low-hanging fruits. Those are the ones that are vacant. They're not producing. It's probably costing the homeowner money for keeping up the grass and maintenance and things of that nature. So those to me are probably, your most low hanging fruits if you can find a homeowner, see if they want to purchase.
Yeah. And, I forgot to announce. We agreed they can send it through the DM on Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah. If you want your, I think I can figure it out. If you want your questions answered, send
a video.
Send a video. You know, obviously you want to send it before the show or whatever. And you're really gonna have to probably send it by Wednesday, and we'll pick a few you want it. And then even beyond the show, I'll use it because I just need content for Instagram. I try to bring value with anything I bring out. Sometimes I get silly or whatever, but if you want your questions answered, just do a short video, either post it on your Instagram or DM me, and I'll figure out how to get it. Probably easier if you post it on your page. I know some people don't want they're following in their business, but if you don't care, then post it there. I just like that you reference me at Ask Flipman or whatever, just to trade off or whatever. And we'll put some of them here on the Flippinars and we'll answer them. And then I said, I'll use some of them in post on Instagram where I'll answer your questions. So just send your video. Just try to keep it under
1 minute.
30 seconds would be ideal, but 1 minute for sure, you know, so.
Mm-hmm. All right. Hey, Shaq Smith from Westside D-Town. Nice to see you joining us. So someone asked the question while you're at it. Go ahead and put up someone, I don't even remember who it was, says, how do I get a contract? Well, good opportunity to tell you guys. You can visit doyoulater.com, where Ty has made his one-page contract accessible to each and every one of you. It's a plug-in. Just plug in your numbers, print it out, and boom, there you have it. You can email it, download it, save it, print it, whatever you need to do with it. So that contract is available for you guys free of charge on doyoulater.com. While you're there, go ahead and sign up for your free 5-day trial period to see if Do You Later, aka PropStream, is a service that you would want to add to your tool chest. Yes. It'll help you find properties, property owners, do your comps. It has quite a few features that would be beneficial to your wholesaling game. Step it up.
Yeah, so I have it up here on the screen, and you really don't even have to download it. Some people may still want to do that, but you can just fill it out right here on the site. You fill it out, fill in the blanks. I have tons of videos to show you how to fill it out. And I even edit this version of it where you can put in the inspection period, the days here, the 14, 10, 5, whatever you want to do. You know, buyer will pay all closing costs minus any unpaid taxes, mortgage, or liens. Number 4 used to be omitted, so I just changed that out with that particular statement because that's normally how you're going to roll or whatever. And so, you know, just fill it out. You know, once you do that, you generate the report there. It'll give you an option to download it. So now you can upload it to DocuSign or one of those services, and boom, it just makes it so easy. You know, just before the show started, I sent over a contract to a seller. He couldn't have even read it. He signed it so fast. he signed it so fast. He approved it so fast or whatever, and you know, boom, I sent out a text message to the buyers. I got guys that want it. So, but I just simplified. Technology is beautiful. Lord have mercy. And so just use it. So you don't really have to worry about, you know, downloading it and all that stuff. Or you can still get it again if you want it in that format. But I tried to make it easy for you here on the site. If you don't want to do that, then you can just go here to download blank contract, and it just tells you how to do it. Text to word contract to 833-439-9632 to receive a free copy of the one-page contract I've used since 2003. Boom. Back over to you, Adrian.
I like it.
Okay, back to the questions. Speaking of Do You Later, let's answer Darius King's question. With Do You Later, can I skip trace individual addresses as well as a list?
Yeah, you can, meaning like if he just wants to go in and put in one address.
Yes.
That's what I use it for more than anything, is just going in there, just checking single addresses more than anything. Now, the script tracing part of it, which I put it up on a recent video, I use a combination of that and Mojo Dialer. They just have a flat fee of $40 a month. I think you have to buy one of their lines. I think it may be another $30 or so. or whatever, but it's more than because you can just do unlimited searches, and their numbers normally are pretty good when they skip traces. So probably about 30 to 50% of the numbers that you upload, they're going to provide numbers. The only thing you'll put in is the person's name and address. And if you're trying to do single, then which you could do an entire list if you wanted also in that reverse lookup. So I use a combination of both. I use DLA, they have a skip trace server. I just prefer to use Mojo. I'm just being straight up. So, but the other services that the PropStream, aka DLA, the offers, that's where it's at on a daily basis. If you're serious about that, as far as researching properties, comps, cash buyers, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So next.
Okay. Now I'm going to tie two viewers' questions together, Renikia. This is from Nathaniel and Steven, and we're just going to tread lightly with our answers. So Nathaniel wants to know, is a real estate license important when looking to engage in real estate beyond wholesaling? And Stephen Woods wants to know if having a real estate license in Pennsylvania means a fiduciary duty to every buyer seller you represent, but wholesaling functions just the opposite way. How do you wholesale and not lose the license on ethics? So I guess two-part question: is a real estate license important? Can it be used to benefit you in wholesaling? And if you already have or are in the process of acquiring a license, how do you do so and not, break code?
That's a really good questions, and I'm gonna reference Ty with this. A real estate license is a tool. It's a tool. It will definitely benefit you, like other tools in real estate. So it will give you access to MLS, where the average investor don't. I think that's probably one of the greatest benefits. Is really just been getting access to MLS. However, an average real estate investor can get access to MLS as well, and all the listings that goes on MLS. So it's a tool, and you can pull comps and things of that nature where an average real estate investor would have to contact their realtors to pull comps. So it can definitely benefit you in growing your real estate business. Do you need it to be a real estate investor? Absolutely not. Can you be more successful without a license? Absolutely yes. And my reason for that is because a real estate license makes you think transactional, and a real estate investor think profits. And that profit of a real estate investor is probably 5 times greater than a transaction or a 3% fee from being a realtor. However, it is a tool and it's beneficial. Now, how do you do it without losing your license? Is there are documentations where you can sell or list, not really list, but sell a unlisted property. You can disclose everything to your real estate broker is one, and just allow them to get their fee out of it. That's probably the easiest way. I have other ways, but DM me and let's talk about it.
All right, Ty, your view?
Oh no, she hit it. It's just a tool. It can be used as a tool. It's that simple.
Okay.
She explained it well, as always.
Yes. So Shay Hopkins wants to know, is there a place I can get Bandit signs cheap, dirt cheap, who we normally refer you to, is charging $589 for 200. What kind of signs is she getting? Is that right?
If she's getting 2 color, she's getting, I don't know.
She getting 3 full colors?
No.
Okay, let me finish. Dirt cheap is charging $589 for 200 with H stakes. She's getting the stakes.
You don't need stakes.
Yeah.
You don't need stakes.
Yeah.
Watch my video, Ride Along, Bandit sign, put Flipman behind it. Ride Along, Bandit sign, put Flip. I'll try to put it here in the thing here.
But yeah, Shay, Dirt Cheap Signs is a really good place to get signs for the cheap. You can call the 1-800 number. They still do that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Call the 1-800 number. Don't place it online. Call the 1-800 number. Don't know the contact name anymore.
Just sales. Just anyone in sales.
Mention Flipman and save 10%, 5%.
Yeah, I think it's 5%.
5% off of your order. Every little bit helps. Knock some tax off of that. And as Ty was mentioning, you don't need the H stakes. If you're not putting these in yards, I always suggest maybe the zip tie method. That's just adding to your costs. Don't waste it. You should be able to get that down quite a bit if you take those stakes off. Hope that helps. Stack Q from Tuscaloosa. Hey, what it do, boo? Don't know who that is. It's local. Okay. Let's see here. R&R Robinson says, I have a very motivated seller. The home burned down and is beyond repair. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1137 square feet. Estimated was $62,000. Owner states the land is worth 10 and willing to take 5. Is this a good deal? So we're talking about basically $5,000 for a lot. How do you evaluate that?
And what is he going to do with it? What's his exit strategy?
I don't know. He didn't say. Exit strategy.
What can you build on it? What would your end buyer be able to do with it? And what's the value of that build out?
Okay. Oh, and she's getting 18 by 28.
18 by 28 or 24? She got to mean 24.
Well, she probably mean 24, but she put 28.
Yeah, that's an odd cut. They wouldn't even probably do those. Yeah. It's the stakes that's running her thing up.
It's the stakes.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. She corrected 18 by 24. Yeah, it's the stakes. Yep. Okay. Blue Faith, any advice on getting a mentor that accepts pay on the back end, like when they take their payment from your first couple of deals, if you can't afford to pay right out? What do you suggest to the viewers, subscribers, newbies, or whatever that want mentors? Where do they need to go? Where would they find one? How do they pay? What do you suggest on all of that?
What was the question? Where was it at?
On YouTube.
What was his name?
I think time's a 50-50 thing.
What was his question?
Any advice on getting a mentor that accepts pay on the back end, like when they take their payment from your first couple of deals, if you can't afford to pay right out?
Well, I offer something like that. It's called 50. If you do a search for, I'll explain it, but if you do a search for 50-50 deals and put Flipman behind it, you'll see that particular video. But that's basically where, and I sort of have to do it this way, is that if someone finds themselves, they were able to find a property, put it under contract, they can submit it to the site. And if it, the numbers work, I'll work with you trying to find a buyer and we'll just split it 50-50. So, that's the closest thing that I have to something like that. I can't just open myself up to just, hey, just send me a deal or whatever. And I probably should do it that way, but I'm not set up for that. Let me just say that. Because my number, I put my number out there, which I'm not complaining about it. I knew what I was getting into. I never thought it would get to where it is now. But my point is, I just can't open it up to that or whatever, because it is what it is. The average person it's tough for them to figure out what a deal is. And that's why I do so many videos on that, to try to help people, because you don't want to waste your time, for sure. You don't want to waste the seller's time or whatever. If I knew what people knew what a deal was, then yeah, I would hold myself up. But that's just rain money, just rain it down on all of us or whatever. I'm using my knowledge to help you. You do a deal or two, you won't need me anymore or whatever. So, but I just can't do that, because the average person just don't know what a deal is. So at least they would have to go to the step of putting it under contract. They submit it to the site. I take a look at it. Boom, I'll normally try to respond back through text message or email and let you know what I think. So that's my version of it. But what he's asking for, I don't know, somebody may want to work with you on that. And maybe I'll change my thoughts on it and come up with a better game plan on it. You got any suggestions, Reniki?
I'm thinking. I'm thinking. I mean, that's a hard one because wholesaling. That's a hard one, because there's so much great information out there on how to put together a good wholesale deal. So, your upfront cost is probably $100 earnest money, at the most when you really put a deal together. So, what part of that deal that you need someone to come in and mentor you on, because there's so much great information out there. Now, honestly, at time, I don't know. That's a hard one. I mean, but is there a lot of mentors out there? Absolutely. And I'm not for sure what state you're in, but I'll just start with maybe my local real group or my local real estate groups and begin to just partner with people in your local area. And honestly, that's probably one of the best ways to get this done. Go just try to partner with people in your backyard who, can take you out in the field and y'all go out in the field and y'all figure out things together, or who can kind of teach you what they know and y'all split deals on the back end. Like, try to formulate your little group in your backyard and you all bounce ideas off each other and build. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's our one.
The next question is going to be from YouTube, and this is from Christ Be the Gang. He says, "Hey Ty, what do you think about buying a list of probated or absentee owners as opposed to bandit signs?" So probate, absentee owner list as opposed to bandit signs.
What was his name?
Top. Mm-hmm. Christ.
What's his name?
Right there.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I did a video with this guy named Chad from ATL. It's, all the leads that's short for all the leads. And they're expert at probate. And he got me to understand that it's just not buying a list with probate. It's a different approach when you're working those leads versus just an absentee list or whatever. Some of those may be probates or whatever, but you can buy an absentee. I forget about the probate part of it. If you're a gator, right? If you're a gator head's too far for me to grab. Don't cut your hand. The teeth will cut you. If you're a gator, then yeah, you can pound out them calls on the phone. That's going to be the cheapest way to do it, but you have to do it. And you're going to have to do it at least 5 days a week. 6 would be ideal, including Saturday. You got the it takes a real gator to pound out them phones, pound out those calls as far as cold calling. So it's just you have to just be real with yourself. See me, that's not going to work for me. I have to get help with the cold calling part of it. But them bandit signs, hey, that's I can afford to do other forms of marketing, but I just feel like I'm leaving money on the table if I don't do it or whatever. So just because how cheap they are and what they can produce. I did a video. I think I uploaded it. Well, yesterday. Turn $1 bandit signs into $10,000 paydays. Y'all like that title?
Yeah. Yes. Sign me up.
But anyway, I didn't even know it was that long. It took me 3 days to edit. Well, I wasn't doing it back to back. I was doing some other stuff. But it's a 30-minute long video, but I go through every step of the way I think you need to start with a bandit sign campaign, along with the ride along video that I just posted in the chat room. They're so inexpensive but can be so effective. You know what I'm saying? So it's just going to depend on the individual, but cold calling can be effective too, but you got to be 100, to do that. You know what I'm saying? It takes some special people to do that type of generation. You don't have to be that special like me. I ain't that special to do bandit signs. You just not understand where to put them out and know you're just going to always be putting them out. So, but even though I do more than that, I'm just saying. So,
And bandit signs to me is warm leads. If someone call your sign, I just use this analysis all the time. No one is going to call 2 men in a truck sign if they're not looking for 2 men in a truck. So bandit signs to me is just warm leads. If people call your sign, they looking for what you're advertising or something in the ballpark of what you're advertising. They may, ask if you have any rental properties or whatever. However, those are leads, real estate leads. I will always throw some bandit signs out there, especially when I'm first starting.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Dark Behind Flat, thanks for joining us. She says, Flipman, you just earned another subscriber. Let's get this guy more. Everyone, share it.
Oh
with
yeah,
your
I didn't even say that.
friends.
Yeah, subscribe. Oh, I did say that.
And Lamont wants to know, he says, hey Ty, do you have a website for your t-shirts that I can order from? Absolutely. I think underneath every video, and I know on Facebook you should see the shirts there that you can click on and purchase. Most definitely do that so you can walk around and represent. This guy buys houses. I think there's the drop you 9 to 5, the deal you later. Yeah, they're up under the video.
Yeah,
so
they're beneath any of my YouTube videos. You can order there or whatever, and then you can go to the FOB. That's thefobb.com. Also, you can order there if you want the Fear of Being Broke t-shirts.
Yep. That's cute. And dude, I buy houses style 1, 2, and 3, representing all ethnicities. Get you one.
I don't know who representing all, but
close enough. Close enough. Okay, back to the questions. Let's see here. Dark Behind Flat says, I don't feel like a negotiator. I haven't sold many things in my life. Any good videos to help me with speaking the right way to negotiate?
Well, in my opinion, and I feel the same way. Now I'm comfortable, with doing it or what. I'm trying to find that question. I'm comfortable with doing it because I've been doing it so long, but I didn't I wasn't born doing this. But I provide an actual script of questions that you can just ask. Now, depending on what role you're taking when you're dealing with sellers, if they called you, that's easy. If they called you wanting to sell their house, that's easy. All right. Now, some of the questions you'll get is that, they'll say, do y'all buy houses? That's what the sign said. But yeah, we buy houses. How does this work? And so the simple thing to do is just this sort of breaks it down. We buy houses as is. We close normally in 2 to 4 weeks. So you can say 2 to 3 weeks, both work. And we pay all cash and we close. I said that in the beginning. We pay all closing costs minus any unpaid taxes, mortgages, or liens. So let me repeat that. We buy houses, we pay all cash, and we buy as is. We normally close in 2 to 4 weeks, and we pay all closing costs minus any unpaid taxes, mortgages, or liens. From there, your follow-up question will be, you got a house you want to sell. You just go ahead and just put it in there because they called you about it. Sometimes they just have questions. And so I got one on sale. So your follow-up question after that is then, could I have your name? And well, this is what I do. I say, well, my name is Ty Taylor. What's your name? Could I have your name? So they give you that information. All right. Then you follow up with, could I have the address of the property you're interested in selling? They give you the address. I ask the number of bedrooms and bath. Is the property currently rented, vacant, or occupied? They give you that information. You want to ask, how is it heated and cooled? Would it ever set up for central heating and air? You're going to get into asking the last time the roof was replaced. Do they have a mortgage or any liens on it? You want to ask that question. And then I like to ask them to try to get a real understanding of why they're interested in selling. If you don't mind me asking, why are you considering selling? So they go through that. So you just sit there and listen. And then you hit them with the magic question that I was taught and the way I teach it, paying all cash and closing quickly. What is the least amount you'll accept for it? You wait on a response, regardless of what they say. Your follow-up question is, even if it's a number that works for you, Is that the best you can do? Right? So, hey, so from there, if the numbers work for you, then you want to set up a time to go out and take a look at the property. You want to definitely video it when you get out there, take pictures. I prefer to do video. Everybody has a smartphone. If you don't, you're kidding yourself. You're not really thinking about being in business. This is a walking business right here. And so you go out and video the property. Boom. After everything looks okay, the numbers work. You say, well, I'll follow back up with you and send you a contract via email. So you say, please text me your email address, or you get it while you're out there. That's for them, just text it to you. So they text you the email address. You fill out the contract on digulator.com. Boom. Generate it, upload it to a DocuSign or one of those outfits. Send it over to them. All they do is just click, 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 sign. Boom. You'll get an email response back, says completed. Now it's time for you to find a buyer.
That's it.
That's it.
Done. Boom.
The end. Well, it ain't the end. They got but that part of it.
Boom.
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 I'm biting off somebody else.
I don't know. It's just boom. Boom. Ask your question. Boom. Boom. No, we're not.
That's perfect, though.
No period, pools.
Yeah.
No.
The end.
The end. Ashley Stevens has a question, and Ty, you the wrong person she should be asking. I'm just saying. She says, would you recommend setting up a website for your wholesaling business?
You funny.
Ty set up a website for anything. I worry that sellers will think I am a scam or not take me serious if I don't have info when research. So I guess more concerned about if you create a name for your wholesaling business and then they Google search you and they don't pull up anything, and it makes it seem that maybe you're not credit worthy, or because you don't have a internet presence. So what do you think about that?
I used to be bigger on that than I am now, believe it or not. It's so easy to set up. I ain't gonna say easy. It's simple. So there's so many resources on how to set up a website, and a pretty good one. And I don't care if people copy exactly what I have. Obviously, you have to change the information on your location, phone number, email address, logos already. Somebody wants to see how my stuff looks, just text me. I'll text it to you or whatever. And I hadn't did number copy somebody else's, took what I wanted from it or whatever. I'm great at that or whatever. So to answer your question, you can have a website up and running for $50 or whatever. So that's something that it doesn't prevent you from doing deals, but it don't hurt none. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, if you're in business, you got to have that that presence at some point, but it doesn't prevent you from starting if it's not in your budget to do it. So yeah, I'm the king of domain name. I got so many. They're just wasting money. You know what? I was on that video, and I think I still got that domain name. And I know this is a good one. I do have AtlantaCashBuyers.com. I think.
Oh, really?
Air cash with the C.
With the C.
Wow.
I have that domain name.
You can't give that.
Really? Atlanta?
Atlanta Cash. I'll check it here while we're talking, but I'm pretty sure I got that.
Oh, wow.
That's great.
What are you trying to sell it for? I just want to piggyback on that. Start with what you have. Start with what you have. You don't have a website. You don't have money for it. Don't give it to them. I've been in this business for a long time. I have not had someone ask me for my website. Now, do people look for you and Google you, and your Facebook going to come up, your Instagram going to come up? Something's going to come up regardless if you have that website or not. So just start with what you have. If someone want to kill your deal because you don't have a website, keep it. It is what it is, but I can guarantee that doesn't matter. An end buyer matters the most.
I got that.
That's it. No one is going to think that, if you have cash to come to the table, but you don't have a website, that they don't want to do business with you. Start with what you have.
I said that you got people's interest peaked because the next question is, where can you go and get a site for $50? Well, you got to think about you have stuff like Wix I know you
With
click on those, but stuff like it's like a template. I mean,
Well,
you can do
yeah,
basic.
Well, yeah, but you can go to upwork.com. You can go to Fiverr, that's Fiverr.com. And like I said, you can just tell them, hey, I want this my sale website to look just like this one. They'll do it for less than $50. And you're gonna still have to register the domain name. That may be
a monthly fee.
That's gonna be $12. The hosting, you can get hosting for $3 or $4 a month or whatever. So, but
you don't need multiple pages.
Yeah, you don't need but one page. My stuff ain't but what is that? Yeah, they only like one page.
They need to have like a portfolio where they can post a bunch of pictures.
No. It's just there to collect the information. I even have I have a commercial real estate site that it's just one page. And you ain't all that 6 figures and above.
Yeah.
Nothing ain't, you know what I'm saying? That I get through it and because I've created an email address to go with that domain name for my commercial stuff, hey, the building we in right now, they probably think I own it. You know what I'm saying? But it goes, it's just a perception. Because if you email, I know in the commercial world, you email them from a Gmail, it decreases them of take serious 50%, probably 70%. Or whatever.
Right.
So, just creating your own email address along with the signature.
That's just it. You go to, we'll just say GoDaddy, buy a domain name for $1.99 and it gives you a free email address, even if you don't even put the website up.
Yeah, if you don't even put the site up, you can still use it. So,
and
but I do
$2.
out of curiosity.
If I had to choose between an email with a domain name versus a website, it would be an email with a domain name.
Correct. Exactly. I agree. And I do have Atlanta cash buyers. I wanted to double check that domain name. I ain't doing nothing with it. Go there. It's probably not going to do anything, but I got it.
We're gonna talk about that.
It's mine and my name on it, and you can't have it.
No, I sell it. Hey, you ain't got to worry about that. I will sell it.
Okay. Okay, let's see here.
I think I spelled it. Yeah, I spelled it right.
Yeah. Proof of funding. How would you get proof of funding? This is from Taylor and Real POF Funds. RealPOF.com.
Yeah, RealPOF.com.
RealPOF.com is a suggested site that you could use, Taylor. I would suggest going there and reading the instructions, and the fees vary depending on what you need. But that would be a good source to get proof of funds for any deal that you got going on. Let's see here. Next question, sticking with YouTube.
What, Taylor?
Very bottom.
Okay.
Yes. Right. Carmen B's question is, when doing a deal, I lost it. When doing a deal, when do you check if there are liens on the property? Is it before, under contract, while going through the title company? So this is like a just smash up. People want to know, when do I take my contract to the title company? When I get it signed by the seller, when do they run it? And let me know when it's clear. How am I supposed to know when there are liens or against the property? When do I do this? How do I do this? Who pays for this? Let's just answer all of that at one time.
You.
That's actually a good question. That's a good question. You don't run title. The attorney runs the title, or your title company that you choose run the title. So as long as when you submit your contracts to the attorney, they will begin to run title. Now, best practices when you're doing a wholesale deal will probably be the best is to wait until you have both contracts, which is your AB contract and your BC contract, and then submit those both to the title company or the attorney to begin to run title. I would say that would be best practice, but you don't worry about title at all. The end buyer or the buyer is going to pay for it. Mostly the end buyer pay for their own title work. So you don't have to worry about it as a wholesaler. If there's liens, that stuff will all be taken care of before the closing. And that's where the attorney will reach out either to the seller and let them know that, hey, it's liens on this property and these are the liens that needs to be cleared prior to or at the closing table.
All right. You are Endeavor says, hello, everyone. May God bless you all and support you all in your ventures. Thank you for your taking your time out of your busy schedules for doing these free live Flippinars. And mean, you guys are really adding value. Greatly appreciate that. I hope each and every one of you understand that this doesn't have to happen every Thursday, and the content and the information that you get here free of charge, a lot of people are taxing for it. Just saying. Just saying. YouTube is your friend. Ty has over 370, 380, 390 plus videos that go step by step on how to wholesale properties. I mean, all your questions are answered right there. And if you still need help and need a mentor, he does do it for a cost. But honestly, guys, he provides all the information for free. No reason why you can just jumpstart and get out there with the tools that are placed before you and on that world wide web. But her question was, I was driving for dollars and I found a
What?
I do apologize. My daughter is here with us today, and she's in the background, and she gets the shh. Don't say anything. You better, you know that mama face when you still don't ask.
Oh yeah, mama got that.
She gets that. You know, don't say nothing. Clear her throat.
Oh, mama's had that look.
What's wrong with her? She lost her mind. Okay, so luckily y'all can't see the face that I'm giving. But. For our endeavors says, I was driving for dollars. I found a fire damage property multi-unit. How hard is it to get back in cash buyers to purchase on a wholesale deal, specifically a fire damage property? So we talked about this a little earlier about the value of just the lot ultimately. And then I guess she's wanting to know, can you wholesale a fire damage property? Absolutely. Absolutely. But what are the steps in that? What would make it interesting or make a buyer interested in a fire damage property? Numbers, right? Numbers.
So it really doesn't matter if it's fire damage, if it's tore down, the roof hanging, it doesn't matter. Once you assess the damages, it's all relative to the after repair value. So if the damages is more than the after repair value, it's not a deal. Or the seller who's trying to sell it is asking too much and the property needs too much rehab work. So, it's all, like I say, it's all relative to the after repair value. No matter what's wrong with that property, no matter fire damage, anything, is all relative to what is the property worth once I do fix it up. And if it still has equity in there, you can always wholesale it.
Okay, hopefully that answered your question. You are endeavors. Speaking about fire damage properties, let's go ahead and cover it. I see several questions in here. What about land? Can you wholesale land?
Absolutely. You can wholesale anything on earth. But absolutely you can wholesale land. And like I said, it's all relative to the value of the land or value of what you're going to put on the land. Some people just like to collect land. So it's all relative to the value.
All right, let's go ahead and tack on the next. Can you wholesale? Can you wholesale a mobile home?
Absolutely. I'll wholesale the house you live in now. You can wholesale anything on earth. If there's an end buyer that will buy it, you can wholesale it.
You get wholesaled water every day.
You can wholesale whatever you want. It's such a strategy. It's a buy sell strategy. But absolutely.
All right, let's see here. Mary popping it. I'm sorry. We appreciate you being here. She says, my sister is in the hospital giving birth, but I chose to stay here with you guys because I love y'all so much and the information y'all get on wholesaling. You can take a phone with you to the living room. I mean. But thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. Kiani says she has a suggestion. Stand in front of a mirror and talk to yourself. Seller. then switch roles and speak to yourself as the buyer. Everything that Ty said, it works for me at times. LOL. You crazy. You talking to yourself.
And also,
I'm just kidding. Absolutely.
If you're afraid to... No, I was just going to say, if you're afraid to freestyle that conversation, write it down. Write those questions down that you know need answered on that call. And it'll help you. It's like an outline to your conversation. So now you're just not rambling and talking all over the place. You know, I mean, people always call with scripts. I mean, at the end of the day, outline your conversation before you call for you to speak with them. Or if someone call your phone, already have an outline based on what you need to ask them. So it prepares you. You know, preparation is real. I mean, you know, just prepare yourself for the phone call. If you already have those questions outlined, you can kind of control the conversation. Which is, I would go back and really write down everything Ty said about 20 minutes ago. And that becomes your outline.
You ain't got to write it down. Just replay this video and you play it over and over and over and over. One more time and over again. These videos are available for you to watch again. As soon as we're done, they're uploaded and you feel free to add to the number of Flipinars that are on there. This is number 109. It's not 110?
109.
109 in addition to the video. So yeah, most definitely. Paco from Facebook wants to know, can I virtually wholesale from Mexico and is it legal? He wants to protect himself and at the same time his profit. Yes, absolutely. Yes, Paco, most definitely.
You gotta boots on the ground to help you though. Either another wholesaler, realtor, friend, or family, or foe. Somebody.
Speaking of virtual, I'm Greg Clark, and this is from YouTube. Says I have a property in which the sellers have agreed to my offer. They also live out of state. How do you initial contract and handle the closing for the final contract? Is it done by mail or DocuSign? So,
who is this?
Greg Clark.
Where is it?
Very last question.
Oh,
there you go. So how would you handle that? I guess the finalization of the deal with him not being there at all.
How do you close with out-of-state buyer?
Well, he said they have a seller agrees to my offer. Yeah, it's just all done through email and or overnight mail. Happens all the time.
Happens all the time. It's you know, to close, it's just called an out-of-state closing. They're going to email the documents. He's going to take it to a notary. He's going to sign off on it. He's going to email the wet copies, not email. He's going to overnight the wet copies to the attorney, and he's going to email them a copy of it that day, and close. Along with him or everyone.
All right. Adrian Rivas says, yo, Flip Man. Hope I said it like they would. So does your contract have to be approved by an attorney?
Well, who was that? Somebody. No, it doesn't. You know, you'll have sellers that may want an attorney to review the agreement, which is fine. And sometimes they'll blow up the deal or whatever, but normally they got to justify charging them whatever they are. And so, you know, that contract is being used all over the place, man. Just simple. But, you know, that's going to be up to the seller's discretion that they want the contract, which is fine. That's, you know, that's what people do or whatever. But one of the main reasons I keep it as one page, so you limit a lot of that. It's rare that's going to happen. They'll blow up a deal or whatever. Sometimes the attorney questions it is the amount of earnest money is probably the biggest issue that they have. And so if you try to put $10 there, he's going to automatically question that. So if they already mentioned that they're going to do use an attorney to review it, then you go ahead and put 100 on there, at least that. You know? At least that. And he still might trip on that or whatever. So, but it's going to be up to you whether you want to, you know, they want you to put up more, you know, that could be a deal breaker, you know. So
All right, what's up, Mr. Gigi? Haven't seen you in the room in a while, but glad to see you with us today. And Alex J, you're correct. This is gold. Hands up. Yes, most definitely thankful for Ty and Miss Renikia. Let's see here. Vontae Upshaw, I'm really interested in wholesaling. How do I get started and what steps do I take? Man, dig in, binge.
Binge, grind,
Yes.
and stack.
Binge, grind,
Go to
stack.
Thai University for about 2 weeks.
Thai University. There you have it.
Unaccredited. Non-accredited.
Disclaimer.
Hey, no accreditation. They will have. Hey, you try to go get a JLB with that degree from this university, but it's not going to get a job. So that's the great thing about it. You go out there and get this bread, man.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Says his name is Q. That ain't what he said though. But okay. He says, I'll be on the road 2 weeks at a time. How can I wholesale without losing my job? So I think Q is a truck driver. So I mean,
well, you're similar to a virtual wholesaler. You would have to take that mindset. You're just going to have somebody on the ground to assist you. If you have the money to market your business, to generate leads, whether it's direct mail, Bandit signs, Google AdWords, Ringer's voicemail, whatever, then you're just going to need somebody that can help you. And the reason I can think this through a little more, I met this guy over the last couple of days, and he's done some virtual wholesale. I'm impressed with a lot of things he's done. And you just got to just build a network of individuals, especially if it's local to where you live. You probably already have people that'll do that groundwork for you. But again, it could be just another wholesaler. You're spending the money to fund the leads. It'll be a fool. You shouldn't be difficult to find someone to work the leads. If you're gonna fund the leads, generating the leads, yeah, that shouldn't be an issue at all, man. You out there on that road, and then they hitting you up on the title come say, when you get back your check read, you want us to wire it to your account. You just need to put the boots on the ground zero. If you can fund the leads, you can make it happen.
Wow, that's it. Build a team.
Yeah.
Build a team. And I'll just say this: don't let your job stop you from making a fortune.
Yep.
Okay.
Make it happen.
This is from Riley and Ray, who lives in South Georgia. Wants to know what's the best way. I see you in that, Gator. What's the best way to know what area to place Bandit signs? I'm still in the process of watching all your videos. You may have a video that speaks on that. So is there a video on where to place Bandit signs?
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier, and I placed a link in the chat room. But ideally, what you want to do, you want to research, right? In the sense that you want to get out in your market and see where signs already exist, right? And the reason you want to do that is that in most cities, you have certain areas you just can't get away with Bandit signs long term, okay? And you want to start in the areas where you can get away with them. Now, if you still want to practice in areas where the signs come down fast, and you don't have to do that you're gonna have to be a weekend warrior. You can do it one or two ways. You can put them out Friday evening and go pick them up Sunday evening, or you just say, I'm gonna put out 25 every weekend. I know they're gonna come down by Monday or Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna put 100 out and then if you could afford it now, that 100 you put out every weekend, now you're gonna probably get calls or whatever. You can afford to put out 100, 100 coming down, boom, boom. The business will pay for itself. If you're doing them right and they coming down after them 2 or 3 days, then boom. But I recommend about 25 and just let it compound. And then you see if you're trying to do it that way. But the first thing you want to do is put them in areas where they already exist. Bandit signs are nothing new, definitely nothing I invented. Guys that have been using them in your market, they've been doing it a long time. If you go into areas and you see signs and you can tell those signs been up a long time, you need to be putting your signs in those areas also, because that means they are working. They're not taking the effort, the money, and the time to put those signs up, but they're not generating leads. Now, as far as where you put them, then, you know, I have a video. It's called Ride Along. It's better that you just look at that visual on the video because I explain why I'm putting them in this area versus another area. Just do Ride Along, Flip Man, Bandit signs, and that video should pop up, and you can check it out.
Okay, there you have it. Taylor wants to know, and this is from YouTube, should you let a buyer know the address of a potential seller before you have it under contract?
No, I mean, that's iffy. I mean, that's iffy. I would say it depends on your relationship with the end buyer. Because some end buyers are sharks. They don't know you. They have no loyalty to you, and you mess around and not have all your ducks in a row. They'll go around you. So I would say it depends on the relationship. But you know, then again, that's false advertising. You know, that's advertising a home for sale that you don't have the contractual rights to do. So, you know, tread lightly on advertising properties you don't have a contract on as well.
Okay, and that question was from Taylor on YouTube.
Oh, Taylor. Okay.
Okay, so no, it's spelled like the clothing Taylor, not Taylor. Taylor.
Taylor. Oh, the lady just Mr. Taylor.
Oh goodness. Lavi Light and Ty, this is for you. And then Reniki is gonna piggyback and answer as well. You got to give me just one. Just one. What's the biggest tip after 13 plus years in this business? 16 plus years in this business. Down to lead generation.
No,
all leads. Okay, that's not it.
Go ahead. You go ahead, Reniki. Go ahead.
What is it?
So if you had to offer one tip for this business, what would it be? Who asked that question?
This is from Lavi Light.
Consistency.
Ooh, that was.
That's all I'll say. You know, the more you're consistent at something, the greater you become, the easier it becomes, the more doors that open, the more people. You know, people like to work with people who are consistent. You know, if you turn around and you're selling a different product every 6 months, you know, people are not going to believe in you. But the consistency, I mean, for someone that lasts 15 years, 16 years, that's consistency. You know, so I would just say just be consistent.
All right. I have right here with my motivational Instagram post that I screenshot every day. The one from yesterday says stay consistent. It says success doesn't come from what you do occasionally, but what you do consistently.
Absolutely.
See that? Look at that.
Absolutely.
I know I was going to send it to you. I forgot.
And to me, that's a key to success. Regardless of real estate, logistics, I mean, whatever you all want to do, stay consistent. And allow things to, when you stay consistent on a path that you're passionate about, things start, you become a magnet to your industry, so you want to become that magnet to people around you based on your consistent flow.
All right, Ty, you're up. What is it?
Well, I've been using this statement for here recently a lot, and it's so many things I can say on this, but it's just so many directions you can go on. But I know people, when they first hear about this business, they get so excited because I don't know how I come off as explaining it, but others can come off, it just seems like it's just really easy, right? And so they just get so excited and they say, all I got to do is just find a house that somebody wants to sell, put it on a contract, and then find a buyer for it. Well, technically, yeah, but there's more to it than that. You know what I'm saying? So if I had to say one thing what was the question? One tip?
One tip, the biggest tip after 16 plus years in this business.
Educate yourself to give yourself the best chance of succeeding.
Yeah.
I got it right.
I would definitely
Say
say
that
education.
one more time. Hold on, I got to record it. I'm gonna play the video back. Educate yourself.
I didn't post it at a lot of places.
Well, I didn't hear it.
Educate yourself
Mm-hmm.
to give yourself the best chance of succeeding.
That's it.
It takes a doctor, I think, 8 to 12 years to become a physician. After hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loans, you can get all this information for free. Study it. It may take you 3 months to go through all this stuff, and you can make more money than they make, and you don't have the loan debt, and it takes 12 years less, basically.
Absolutely.
And so there's no limit on the wholesaling is just a gateway into real estate. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be your stopping point. It's just a gateway to get that bread. Now, one thing what wholesaling will do, and it'll stick with you, is that you're always on the continuous hunt for unbelievable deals, right? And always on the hunt to use somebody else's money to make that money, whether you get into income properties, commercial, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You still have that wholesaler's mentality that, number one, I need to find a great deal, a no-brainer of a deal. And number two, I'm going to try to use somebody else's money to make my money, right? Just that sticks with you. You can go into so many directions with that or whatever. So, just educate yourself. It's free information. And you're going to give yourself the best chance to see what'll happen. People go half, edit, and then they'll say, oh, this don't work. This is a scam. Matter of fact, a dude posted, I'm going to read it. Well, I ain't gonna put him. You know what? I ain't gonna put him out there like that. Here we go. Don't put him I'm just gonna explain.
What he said?
I'm just gonna explain it. And but basically, he was saying that, and he was referring to me, I assume, because he put it on one of my videos. He said, "I've been watching these videos. I can't lie. I don't get it." He said, "It seems like you're just getting bits and pieces, and you never getting anywhere." He says he's in the military, and they call that, I can't remember the phrase he used. They call that, I'm gonna have to look it up because I don't want to misquote it, but basically he's saying, I keep just giving you bits and pieces till you have to end up buying something from me, right?
Wow.
I don't make any bones about it. I'm here I sell stuff. You know what I'm saying? I make money from this stuff. It ain't no question about that. Y'all know I'm 100. I don't know if I'm a gator, but I'm trying to look like one. And
the gator be sold, not
you know what I'm saying? So I don't make any bones about it, but I do know that I put enough information out there, and I have example after example. That's what I did. I answered this question. I was like, well, why have so many people taken this free information and done deals and you can't, right? And I put a link on the most recent video where I did with this guy. His name is Khalid. He has his own YouTube channel. It's called A Smooth Flipper, but he flips, most smartphones, but he mistakenly found out about real estate because he wanted to buy Bandit signs for his phone business, and he sort of like, what is this? And he looked at I might be off on this, and he basically stumbled into it, and he did a deal, $22,000 on his first deal. You know what I'm saying? I've never talked to the dude before, right? And I reached out to him because somebody told me, he mentioned me in his video that he did on YouTube, that I was one of the people that he learned this information from, right? And so I know people learn information differently or whatever. And, like my nephew, and this is pitiful, but it is what he'll be 26 this month, or 27. I'm sorry, 26, not 27 this month. I've given him access to my course. We were just talking about it today, probably the fourth time over the last 3 years, and he just going through it, talking about, man, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Man, don't talk to me, man. You listen to all that every day, man. You know what I'm saying? People would die to be sitting in that chair where you at. I'm ready to offer my information for free to you. You know what I'm saying? Because you my sister child. or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I said, he would already been fired. He would already been fired if he wasn't my son. I'm basically just giving him money every week. Anyway, so my point is, he said, this before this happened, a couple of weeks ago, he said, why don't you come up with a price for people that don't really get it through videos or whatever, through the free videos. Some people just like to read like me. I said, guess what? I'm not a reader, but if that was the only way that I could get this information through reading it, I would read it.
Exactly.
That's how bad that lets you know that you want it. You're going to go do something that you normally don't want to do, right?
Right.
And so he was like, yeah, you're right. I said, I know I'm right. I said, I can guarantee you if this information would have only been in written form, that's the way I would have got it. You know what I'm saying? Because as the more I read, I was like, man, I would have just kept being amazed by what I was reading, just like when I was amazed by what I was hearing or whatever. So anyway, I don't even know what the question was.
You really talk about your nephew, right? Not me too, because.
But yeah, he listening to the chorus now, and he's just like, he making note. That's the only way he can really get it. You know what I'm saying? He said that's the only way he can get it. He can't just listen to it. He has to make notes. So it's taking him longer than most people, I guess, or whatever. And he just talking about, man, I'm just really. I said, man, I said you'd have been gone.
You got access to the teacher.
Oh my gosh! Exactly. You say you're trying to look like a data?
But you're right though. Education is a very huge piece of this, and if you can't miss that step. That's one step you can't miss if you really want to be successful in this real estate game. That's part of the consistent process. That's part of the process. You got to educate yourself so you can go out there and truly be, effective in this business, and that's any business. You got to be educated in what you're trying to sell or what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, you're just going to be automatically more confident in what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
Your confidence level just goes up because you educated yourself on what to do. You see what I'm saying? So, but you do have to understand with all that education, you still can make mistakes, but it's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
You will make
great things about it. You just dust yourself off. You ain't lost but a couple $100. You can go get another couple $100. You know what I'm saying? And get back in there. One deal gonna cover all that plus.
Right. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to fail. That's part of the process. Name me one person that have become successful without failing. That's part of the process. You learn from them. They're not failures. They're learning experiences to help you perfect yourself in what you're trying to accomplish. So.
All right, guys. So if you didn't get anything else, consistency and education. Educate yourself consistently to succeed.
Who asked that question? He got us fired up.
I see. That's Taylor.
He got us
Taylor with the AI, not the AY.
Taylor. Mr. Taylor.
All right, you are Taylor. You got everybody in trouble around here for sitting down.
Mr. Seller.
Coming up.
Taylor. Mr. Taylor, you gonna come by here and sign that contract, Mr. Taylor?
Oh, wow. Yes, Shaq, I see it. I'm purposely ignoring it. Yeah, Shaq, don't be paying enough to me. Shaq, don't do it. Okay, so we're beyond Gator Belts and Patty Melts, and Monte Carlos and Eldorados and all that good stuff.
Okay.
Poor phrase up there. So, Renikia, I have several questions geared just for you. And I'm going to try to put them all kind of jumbled up. Not jumble them up, but spread them out a little bit so you can answer them all at one time. So we have subscribers here that want to know what are the steps they need to take in order for them to use Funding Key Financials to finance a multi-family deal. And this particular person have a 613, which I know is below the 680. So we'll explain that. Then another, Renikia, my husband and I both have credit scores of over 750, but I need to ask a few questions before we apply to your site. Is that possible? So we need to make sure they know how to get in contact with you. Grayvon says, I'm interested in getting to wholesaling. Should I start with residential or commercial? I have a 720 plus credit score, but not a large amount of liquid cash for EMDs. So possibly we can help with that. And I need access to capital for a multifamily property. Can I do that through Funding Key? So what can Funding Key Financials do for any, if not all, of these users?
Absolutely. Thank you. So guys, we specialize in creative financing. That's hard money, residential and commercial hard money loans. That could be fix and flip, buying homes, new construction, commercial, hotels, shopping centers, multifamily. Anything over 5 units is a multifamily. Any units over 5 units is considered commercial. And we have funding for each and every one of those asset classes. Now, if you need down payment assistance, you can go to fundmynextdeal.com. We have a program called Gap Funding, and Gap Funding helps you leverage your credit to receive up to $150,000 to help you somewhat offset some of those expenses for your down payment, monthly expenses that you would need to really take down a hard money loan. Now, when it comes to commercial, there's a lot of different aspects with commercial. And one of the main aspects with commercial is that you're looking at about 20 to 30% down on a commercial asset, and that's purchase and rehab a lot of times. Now, we do have loans that we can get you about 20 to 30% down only on the purchase price of your multifamily unit, and we'll give you 100% of your rehab. So with that being said, if you want to leverage your credit or you want to learn more about our commercial properties, email me at funding@fkfinancials.com. But if you're ready to go to fundmynextdeal.com. And for the woman who has some questions, if you can DM me, I'm gonna give you my direct number. Let's talk first thing in the morning, and I'll be able to answer your questions.
All right, there you have it on your screen. As she mentioned, is her contact information. So if you're on Facebook you can see it on Facebook and you can see it on YouTube. You can always come back and replay this video and get that information. But
I found the statement.
You found the statement?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna use this for Instagram story too.
Okay.
All right. So this Instagram story. So anyway, the question. The statement. The phrase he says that. In the military, we call it keeper of the badge. I got mine, but I will give you a little, keep you interested so I can sell my knowledge to you. Okay, so I guess that applied to me or whatever. But I don't think I held anything back. You know what I'm saying? So
what do you want us to put the deal together and get?
I don't know. Anyway.
It's really simple, guys. That's one of the things I want to say about wholesaling. People think making a lot of money is hard. It's really simple. Wholesaling is very, very simple. The hardest piece of wholesaling is probably finding a property, and I want to say that's the hardest. Finding a property in an end buyer is probably one of the hardest piece to the puzzle. But that comes with doing business. That comes with putting out your banner signs, doing your marketing campaigns. So it's really, really simple. It's really simple. Don't complicate this.
I Googled that. I ain't seeing it on Google. He made that up.
Oh, wow. Made it up.
We're really giving all the information about wholesaling.
All right, guys. Today is the first day of August. You still have 5 months to do the.
Oh, yeah. We forgot about the DM. DM your questions. DM the questions on Instagram at Ask Flipman, and we're gonna post them here next week. Put some of them on Instagram. So boom. So DM me your questions. Try to keep them 30 seconds, no more than a minute, and I'll respond with a video. So there you go.
There you go. First day of August. It's not too late. You still have all of this month plus 4 more months, so a total of 5. to get in this wholesaling business and make a difference before Christmas. Don't hesitate. Don't wait. We will be here next Thursday, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, to answer all of your questions pertaining to wholesaling real estate with little to no credit. Thank you, Ty. Thank you, Veronicia. And I'm not going to tell you when. He's probably going to shoot me later, but all of you guys need to put in the chat box a very, very happy belated birthday to Mr. Ty, the Flip Man. He celebrated his birthday this week. Yeah, he did. Clap it up.
Wow, happy birthday, Ty.
Thank you very much.
Let's find out you're a Leo.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was yesterday. Ain't no trip.
Oh.
See, I didn't even.
Wow, happy belated birthday.
Happy yesterday day. All right, guys, we will see you on the flip side next week. Be sure to join us, tag a friend, join the Facebook group. Make sure you join Ask Flipman on IG. DM your questions, keeping 30 seconds or less. Next week, we're going to try a new thing that's showing you guys asking your questions live. So,
Nice.
that being said, see you on the flip side. Bye.
Bye.